Representative McCaul, one of Texas's most senior members of Congress, announced he too is retiring, citing the need for a new challenge. Representative McCaul is one of the state's most senior members of Congress, and his decision to retire came as a surprise to many. But as our Rena Diamante explains, he's proud of the work he's done and is ready for whatever comes next.
Just over 20 years ago, native Texan McCaul was sworn in. It was the beginning of a long career in the U.S. House, largely anchored in foreign policy and national security, the very issues that drew him to public service in the first place. His father served in World War II.
His service really inspired me to serve my country in the way that I did. I think 9/11 had a big impact on me. I was a counterterrorism federal prosecutor.
The Texas Republican has served as chair of the powerful House Foreign Affairs and Homeland Security Committees. In that time, the 63-year-old has seen the rise of ISIS, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and China's growing aggression in the Indo-Pacific. After 11 terms, McCaul announced Sunday he's not seeking re-election and is looking for a new challenge.
It's hard for some members to let go of power. I don't think that's what our founding fathers intended. You know, George Washington term limited himself to 2 terms as president. So I think there are a lot of other opportunities out there. I'm already getting a lot of offers coming in.
McCaul, who has also led the China task force, helped to authorize the cybersecurity agency within the Department of Homeland Security, bring semiconductor manufacturing back to the U.S., and usher in a bill that funded weapons going into Ukraine, which he says without, Russia would be occupying most, if not all, of Ukraine today. He says he's getting honored in Ukraine for it.
Up here, you can scream and yell, or you can be productive and get things done. I chose to be an effective lawmaker, and the best way to get things done is you really have to work across the other side of the aisle. I had a very accomplished record in terms of passing bills over the 20 years that have made, I think, Americans safer and the world safer.
McCaul's announcement comes just days after Russian drones entered Poland, a NATO member. McCaul has long embraced a muscular U.S. foreign policy, seeing the U.S. as a force for freedom in the world. That conflicts with the more isolationist views of President Donald Trump and a growing number of Republicans. McCaul has pushed the administration and his colleagues to take a harsher stance on Russia and President Vladimir Putin. McCaul supports secondary sanctions on Russia and believes whether it's Eastern Europe or the Indo-Pacific, the conditions are ripe for a world war event.
I'm a strong believer in American exceptionalism, that we have to lead, and other countries expect us to. And I think it's very short-sighted to think we can shrink from the world and that these oceans are going to protect us.
McCaul says he believes his views have influenced the president's thinking on Ukraine, but critics of Trump say he has not been tough enough on Putin, who has rejected the president's call for a ceasefire and refused to meet with Ukraine's president.
And I do think my voice has helped the current administration, particularly with the president, who now realizes that we can't abandon Ukraine, that we have to stand up to Putin.
A longtime Texas congressman who leaves with the same belief that brought him to Washington, that the battles abroad shape national security at home. For Capitol Tonight, I'm Rena Diamante.